December 5th, 1945, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. That day had perfect flying weather. The sky was cloudless and clear, the ocean calm as a mirror. 5 torpedo bombers, known as Flight 19, took off for a routine training mission. 14 experienced pilots and crew members. They were scheduled to return in just a few hours. The flight route was simple. Fly east from Florida, past the Bahamas, and return in a triangular course. These were veterans who had flown this route dozens of times. At 2 p.m., the planes disappeared into the blue sky in perfect formation. And a few hours later, they became the protagonists of one of history's most mysterious incidents. The story I'm about to tell is a true story that still baffles scientists 70 years later. The triangular waters connecting Florida, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico in the Atlantic. People call it the Bermuda Triangle. 3:40 p.m. The first radio transmission came into the base. The flight leader's voice was different than usual. We seemed to be lost. The control tower communication officer couldn't believe his ears. A veteran pilot getting lost on a clear day? The compasses aren't working. Both compasses are pointing in different directions. His voice contained an unfamiliar bewilderment. The control tower responded calmly. Fly west. You'll see Florida. But the answer was even stranger. We can't tell which way is west. Everything is wrong. Even the ocean looks different than usual. The tower attempted to communicate with the other aircraft. But the answers they heard were even more shocking. The sky. It's yellow. No, it looks greenish to me. We have absolutely no idea where we are right now. 14 experienced aviators simultaneously lost their sense of direction, in broad daylight, in familiar waters. Let me turn back time for a moment. The Bermuda Triangle. Long before this name became known to the world, that place was filled with strange rumors. The southeastern tip of Florida, the Bermuda Islands in the Atlantic Ocean, and Puerto Rico in the Caribbean Sea. Connecting these 3 points creates a massive, triangular sea area of approximately 1.5 million square kilometers. Even Christopher Columbus left records about this ocean. In 1492, his voyage log contains this passage: "The compass operated strangely, and we witnessed a massive fireball in the night sky." For hundreds of years since then, inexplicable things continued to happen in these waters. In 1918, the U.S. Navy cargo ship Cyclops disappeared without a trace, along with 309 crew members. A massive vessel 165 meters long. No distress signal, no wreckage, no survivors. In 1948, the passenger plane Star Tiger vanished near Bermuda, with 31 passengers and crew aboard. And a year later, the sister plane Star Ariel from the same airline disappeared in the exact same waters. Official records alone show that in the past 100 years, at least 50 ships and 20 aircraft have gone missing in this region. But unofficial counts are much higher. Scientists have been researching for decades to solve this mystery. The first leading hypothesis was methane gas. Large quantities of a substance called methane hydrate are buried in the Atlantic seafloor. It's like frozen chunks of methane gas. If this suddenly erupts due to seismic activity or temperature changes, what happens? Massive bubbles rise to the ocean surface. At that moment, the density of seawater drops sharply and buoyancy disappears. Ships can't stay afloat. Like a bathtub with a hole, vessels sink instantly, without time to send a distress signal. Giant underwater craters discovered in Norwegian waters support this theory. Holes 800 meters wide, traces of methane gas explosions. But what about the aircraft? Scientists speculate that methane gas dispersing into the atmosphere alters the engine's air mixture ratio. Aircraft engines operate on precise air-to-fuel ratios. When methane mixes in, that balance breaks and engines can stop. It sounds plausible. But there are parts that can't be explained by this alone. Compasses spinning wildly, sky colors. changing, electronic equipment simultaneously failing. These can't be explained by methane gas. This is where the second hypothesis emerges: electromagnetic anomalies. The Bermuda Triangle waters are one of the few peculiar places on Earth. It's one of the points where magnetic north and true north align. In this region, where Earth's magnetic field intersects, compasses may not work accurately, but modern GPS and advanced navigation systems all going dead simultaneously. Some scientists argue there may be massive magnetite deposits beneath these waters. Strong magnetic fields neutralizing electronic equipment. Furthermore, some researchers mention electromagnetic storms. When special conditions of atmosphere and currents meet, powerful electromagnetic pulses can occur. The theory is that this instantly destroys all electronic equipment. There are actually survivor testimonies. In 1970, a yacht captain sailing near Bermuda said all instruments went crazy. The compass spun 360 degrees. Fluorescent green light came down from the sky, and the air felt like being shocked by electricity. He was lucky to survive, but said he could never forget that experience. Back to December 5, 1945. It was past 6 p.m. Flight 19 had been wandering the skies for over 4 hours. Fuel was running out, and darkness was descending. The last transmission came in. "We are entering white water." That was the last. The control tower kept calling, but there was no response. The U.S. Navy immediately began rescue operations. A Martin Mariner search plane took off with 13 rescue crew members. But this rescue plane also disappeared from radar 20 minutes after takeoff. Overnight, 6 aircraft and 27 lives evaporated. The next day, the largest search operation in history unfolded. Over 300 aircraft and dozens of ships thoroughly searched 500,000 square kilometers for 5 days. The result? Nothing was found. Not a piece of aircraft wreckage, not a life vest, not an oil slick. As if they had never existed in the first place. The U.S. Navy's official investigation report concluded, cause unknown. As if they flew to Mars. Flew to Mars. Could there be a more honest expression? Where did they really go? Even today, the Bermuda Triangle remains an enigma. Scientists have proposed various hypotheses, but there's still no perfect answer. Methane gas eruptions? Then why does it always happen only in the same area? Electromagnetic anomalies? Then why aren't all ships affected? Some researchers say the disappearance rate in the Bermuda Triangle isn't significantly different from other waters. Statistically, it's just a busy sea area with high traffic. But how can we explain perfect disappearances where not even wreckage is found? How about the phenomenon of experienced aviators simultaneously losing their sense of direction? Were the bizarre testimonies from the final moments just hallucinations? In 2021, the Bermuda seafloor was investigated. Using the latest underwater exploration technology, surprisingly, numerous shipwrecks were discovered on the seafloor, but none of them were Flight 19's aircraft. They remain vanished somewhere even now. The triangular waters connecting Florida, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico, hundreds of ships and dozens of aircraft safely pass through there today. But no one knows when or to whom that strange thing will happen again. The ocean still remains silent, and within that silence, truths we don't yet know may still be hidden.